now it's time for Michael Scott. Unleashed.
Just asked, is that your son?
Mikey. I thought I said to Mikey.
Hey, peanut gallery, you're not talking yet. Hey, everybody, hi. My name is Michael Scott, the real Michael Scott, not that guy in the office, okay? I can't believe I'm doing this. I mean, I haven't done a show, at least in Omaha, for 27 years, which is really weird because people walk up to me and they go, hey, my favorite news guy, I watch you all the time. And I go, really? Are you getting your TV signals off of Pluto or something? No, I have not been on TV in Omaha for a long, long time. And it's good to be here. I've surrounded myself with some people who I trust and I know. I got a new buddy over here who is my senior media producer. It's Cam Broham. When he said Broham to me, I almost fell off this chair because all I could think of was that Jamie Foxx line from the movie, what was it, The Great White Hype? And the guy said, yeah, I'll get you, brother, Broham. What kind of car you got? So anyway, Cam's working for us in there. He's been handling all the technical stuff. Katie Rain is the creative director. I called her a little bit, Katie, don't be drinking when we're introducing you. I called Katie a little more than a month ago, and I said, well, it's so funny, a buddy of mine, Tim Clark, who you're going to talk to later, Tim said, Michael, we need to get you a program director, someone who's going to handle this project and take it across the finish line. We came up with a couple of names, called Katie Rain. And when I called Katie Rain that evening, she was in New York working on Ice-T's podcast. So I was going, okay, she's in. Let's do this. Okay. She's got some cred here. So Katie, thank you for getting here. I said to her, just get me across the finish line, Katie.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it happen.
You're welcome.
You know, I was sitting there watching that intro there, and man, talk about somebody aging. Folks, get it in perspective, at least for those of you here in Omaha. I moved here in 1982. That's 40 plus years ago. We're talking about some serious time. So it's funny, this weekend, I was trying to get Cam to get one of those de-aging programs. So I'd be like literally young when I came out here, like another 20 years, take 20 years off. In fact, last night I'm watching TV and they had that thing about, put this stuff under your eyes and get rid of the bags. And I'm going, oh man, I wish I known about that a week ago. Because right now these bags have Samsonite written on them. I mean, they're really bad here. But we're going to do this show. It's like 6 months in the making. It's so funny because when the word went out that I was doing a podcast, first thing people would go, well, what's it about? And I go, because they think it's going to be political. And I go, it's about 1 or 2 hours. That's what it's about. And it's what I want to talk about. I mean, if I didn't have guests here lined up already, I'd probably talk about the movie I saw last night, Air, about Michael Jordan's shoes. Incredible movie. Unbelievable. You guys, you need to go see it because the whole Nike thing, you know, their 10 ways of success. I copied that and I sent it to people I know. I'm going, I wish I had known this 2 months ago. It's a great movie. Go see it. That's my first endorsement of a film on this show. That's great. This is doing just so well. Just doing so well. Yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Some things in the news. Thanks to the folks at Reuters. There is a battle in East Ukraine. U.S. government is scrambling because it seems like we have another classified intelligence leak. We're not going to talk much about that. U.S. warships are sailing near man-made Chinese-controlled island. And the big story that we're going to be talking about with one of our guests later in the show is the Nashville Area Board may return that Democratic lawmaker who was expelled from the Republican-controlled State House. Tennessee is a nightmare right now. I have a friend who I've known for almost 45 years. He and I were talking about a mutual friend who kind of went off the tracks in the last 3 years with the whole Trump thing and everything. And he asked me, well, what's wrong with him? And I said, well, he did move to Tennessee. Maybe there's something in the water. But think about everything that's been in the news in Tennessee. just in the last couple of months. The 5 black police officers who beat a black suspect to death. How about in another Tennessee police department where there was a sex ring going on? And then, of course, a couple of weeks ago, we had that tragic shooting at a Christian area school. And 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults were killed. The following week, young people descended on their state capitol and they wanted gun control. And a couple of legislators, actually 3, 2 black males, 1 white female, joined the protesters. All of a sudden, the Republican-led House said, we're going to expel you. We're going to throw you out. And they took a vote. And of the 3, the 2 black guys were thrown off. The white lady got a pass. The white lady even said, when reporters asked her, how come you didn't get it? She goes, it's obvious, because I'm white. There is stuff going on in this country that we need to pay attention to. There are people in state houses trying to control the vote. They're trying to control your body, and they're trying to control your life. So you need to pay attention, because anything they're going to try there, they're going to start to try here too. So keep that in mind. We're going to be talking to, many of you folks know from UNO, Jonathan Benjamin-Alvarado. When I used to do this radio show in North Omaha a few years ago, he was my go-to guy. He always made sense of what things are going on, at least on the political landscape. Jonathan is now in Arlington, Texas at TCU, doing quite well. I don't know how he's handling it being down there in Texas, because I worked in Dallas, and it's a real conservative lifestyle down there, and it's gotten worse. I was in Dallas like 20 some odd years ago. So it's going to be great to touch bases with him. We're also going to have a young lady, Brittany Parker, boxing champ. And I mean, she's not any just kid coming out of this right now. She's been doing it. She's a mom and she's a boxer and she's got championships. And we're going to have her on the show. I've never met her before, so I'm really looking forward to this. We're also going to have a great Johnny Rodgers is going to be joining us. And with him will be Tim Clark. Many of you may know who Tim is. And it's so funny. Johnny came into the building and I told one girl, oh, yeah, you should take a picture. Next thing you know, Johnny's out there taking pictures with everybody and signing autographs and doing this Heisman pose thing and everything like that. So, yeah, he generates excitement wherever he goes. Going to be talking to them. Johnny's got the Jet Awards coming up this week. So we're going to give that a little plug and also talk to him about the new coach down there. How's that working out? For those of you who want to email us, go to michaelscottunleashed@gmail.com. See, this is why I keep Katie around, because I'm still like Fred Flintstone when it comes to this whole computer stuff right now. So she's taking my hand. I'm calling her in the middle of the night going, how do I get this to open?
Open.
And I can feel her trying to be patient, talking this old guy off the ledge. Okay, just press this button here. That'll make it happen. You sure? Okay. So we're going to be doing that too. And in the future, we're going to have a couple of interns here from some of the different colleges around here. And in fact, I'm going to put out a help wanted. Go to that email address, michaelscottunleashed@gmail.com. Send us your resume. If you're a student right now and you're interested in something that we hope is just going to really take off here, give me a shout out. All right. Katie, how's the social media thing work now? How are we going to do that over there?
We invite everybody to chime in. We are live, so we will see your comments, and then I can share them with you, what everybody's saying.
So
that's how that's working.
You'll handle the ones that have the word jerk or stuff like that in there?
Yeah, we're not doing that today.
Why did you resurrect that guy? Put him back in the dirt. Come on, man.
No.
You know, something interesting about that whole thing of resurrection. When I was working in LA at KCBS, right after Entertainment Tonight, I went across the street to CBS. And I was 40 years old, and they had just brought in a guy named Jerry Dunphy. And
Where was this at?
This was in L.A., and I was looking at someone over here and thought maybe he would know it. But Jerry Dunphy, any 70s or 80s movies you saw with a newscaster in it,
Yeah.
it was usually Jerry Dunphy that they hired to do it. And in fact, in The Simpsons, the newscaster is patterned after Jerry Dunphy.
Huh.
So they resurrect this guy to try to save this station. And Jerry Dunphy and I are on the set together. And Jerry's had like a little palsy in his hand. I mean, it was really, you could see it out of the camera. And I'm sitting there and I'm starting to do the palsy thing too.
Oh no.
And we're in a story, and the director goes to my earpiece, goes, "Cut that out."
Like, why were you doing that?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. But now I'm thinking, you're probably gonna go look at my hand and go, "Look at that old guy's hand shake like crazy."
And then I start doing it. But yeah, so everyone is invited to chime in, and we will see your live chats.
Also, the other thing we want from people,
Cam season 2.
Cam season 2.
Yeah.
The other thing we want, I'm going to show you something right now. A guy named John Kelly.
Yes.
He used to play for Nebraska, but he used to be my intern at Channel 7 here in Omaha.
Ah, yeah.
And how about we look at his greeting?
Yo, Michael, it's your man, John Kelly, sending you an avalanche of good vibes and a monumental congratulations. I gotta tell you, brother, I'm so digging this reboot. The entire planet, the universe, ready for Michael Scott Unleashed. Bravo to you. Keep bringing that hot sauce like only you can do.
He sent me another one earlier that ran like about a minute long, and the video was bad, but he was on a roll, man. He was like, "The great one, the man." And I'm going, this guy's been living in LA way too long. This guy, John Kelly, he was my intern, stayed at my apartment a couple of nights, and my girlfriend and her girlfriend were over, and John comes out, and he's got a T-shirt on. What's the political? It's called a wife beater. I mean,
Wife beater.
A wife beater
Yeah.
T-shirt. He comes out and he's like all ripped up, and I saw my girlfriend's tongue on her chest. It was weird. It was really weird. And Carol Schrader, who used to co-anchor with me, used to call him JK Iback because he was an Iback for Nebraska. So you saw his greeting. We're asking you, anybody out there, keep in mind, this is not just an Omaha show. This is a Nebraska show. This is an American show. It's a national show. And because of my involvement with Up With People, I got contacts all across the world. So this is the place where it's going to happen. So anyway, Carol Schrader was my co-anchor. Back in the glory days of Channel 7. I call them the glory days, okay? I'm sorry. They're great now. They're number one. They're fantastic. In fact, Rob McCartney, who is now the guy sitting in the chair I used to sit in, told me this weekend that after I left, they went down to number 2 in the ratings. I did not know that. But they have come back strong. And as I wanted to tell Rob, they had the right guy at the helm to make it happen, and they're successful, and I appreciate it. But again, it was a surprise. It's funny, I never checked to see what the ratings were after I left. I was never a ratings guy. The news director would come in, hand me the sheet, and go, "Here are the numbers." And I go, "Did we win?" "Yes, you won." I go, "That's all I want to know. I don't want to know the breakdown or anything like that." All right. We are going to take a quick break and get our guests set up and be right back. good thing there's no camera recording during the breaks. Okay.
Show group.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're on camera now. Ladies and gentlemen,
All the way live.
we're all the way live. Gentleman next to me, if you're a Nebraska fan, you're a Heisman Trophy fan, Johnny Rodgers,
Hey,
Heisman Trophy winner.
how you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay, man.
All right.
You know what? I really appreciate you being here. First show, having you here, watching all this, the staff and sales here. Everybody wanted to take a picture. I guess I kind of started it. I said, "Oh, you can take a picture with them." And they went, "Really?" I was like, boom.
Oh,
We were off and running. How many pictures did you take just out there in the lobby? Like about 5 or 6, 7?
a dozen.
Dozen. I had work to do. I had to leave you.
You owe me.
And this gentleman sitting next to him, Heartland Focus, Tim Clark. Hey, man, what happened to Heartland Focus, man? They were supposed to put you on hiatus. When are they going to bring you back?
Well, you know, that's a good question that we need to ask management there. And they're going to told me they're going to reimagine and kind of change up a little bit.
What's the main number at WOWT?
I think it's 777. No, I think
No, that's Channel 7.
402 346 6666.
That's right.
Yeah,
Call them
right.
up and go,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
bring back Heartland Focus.
I appreciate that.
Tim, you know how to write that check, right? Anyway, I got Tim Clark here. Tim is also over at MCC, Metro Community College here in Omaha. He's the director of Youth Forward, but I know him better too as Clark Connections. And Tim and I know each other because what year did you go to Upward People?
In 86,
Okay.
87.
I'm here in Omaha and I get a call from Upward People. Hey, check this kid out. Tim Clark, man. We want to get him in. Help him out. Help him get money.
And you did. And I do. I have to say gratitude for that.
Okay, so that's 2 checks you owe me. Okay. Okay. Man, boy, that ledger's just filling up. And the reason I got you guys on here is you are working with Johnny to make the Jet Awards happen. This thing, how many years, Johnny?
12.
What are you writing notes to over here?
You.
Okay.
Make sure you stay on track.
How many years has it been? 12?
12. This is the 12th year.
And it just keeps getting bigger. You even had it like during the COVID year, right? I mean, you didn't take a pause. It's just great.
Well, we're thinking that we may be the largest award ceremony in the country right now.
When it comes to sports banquets and stuff like that?
For sports banquets.
Yeah, I know.
We're looking into the Guinness Book of Records to see if we might be a contender.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
And this year, first of all, it's going to be this Thursday night.
This Thursday night.
Fill me in.
Well, it's Baxter Arena. Baxter Arena is pretty large there. We got 700 on the floor and we have people in the stands. It's been one of my dreams since we started to have affordable tickets for people that can come and just view what we're actually doing, because we sell our tickets on the floor are quite expensive. You know, since we're raising scholarship money, we have to keep it up there. But I do want people in our community to be able to come and to participate, and for the younger people and the older people, because we give scholarships, have given scholarships from people from 18 to 60.
67.
Yeah, 67 that are coming back, and they're people in their 20s and 30s and 40s that want a second chance. And they realize that education is not just part of your life. Education is life itself. And if you really want to take yourself to another level, somebody has to teach you something. And we don't know it all, you know.
You know, you must be saying the right thing because I hear Katie in the background acting like a church woman.
That's my girl. I told you I'm looking at Katie
preach,
here.
Preach.
Hey, he's saying some stuff. So you got to give that feedback.
That's right.
But we started the Jet Award 12 years ago on just an idea. I looked around one day and I just caught my attention that the only award, the only category in college football that didn't have an award attached to it was the return specialist. It's amazing. These are, and I call them the baddest men on the planet, because if you can run a 100-yard touchdown, you're a bad man.
Okay, let's prove that point. I am going to have Cam run some video from what was known as the game of the century in 1971, a punt return. For those of you outside of Nebraska atmosphere, this is why this man got a Heisman Trophy. Take it away, Cam.
His kick gets high It holds up there. Rodgers takes the ball at the 30. He's hit and got away. Back upfield to the 35, to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's all the way home. Holy moly. Man, woman, and child did that. Put them in the aisles. Johnny the Jet Rodgers just tore them loose from their shoes.
I still get a rush off of that, man.
That's pretty impressive.
And the sportscaster, was that Lyle Bremser?
Yeah, that was Lyle
Bremser.
The man.
Man, woman, and child. He's got him standing in the seat.
That's right. Run,
Just
Johnny,
tore him loose from their shoes.
Johnny, run.
Oh my gosh. And
that was the number one game in the country. We were number one. They were number two. We had the number one defense in the country, and they had the number one offense in the country.
And we won.
And we won.
Big.
And then went on to the Orange Bowl and beat Alabama for the national championship, 46-6.
You know, it's funny. I worked in Huntsville, Alabama briefly. In fact, it was my last TV job. And I come on and, I'm on the show and it's beginning of the football season. And they said, so what team do you rooting for? And I went, oh, the Big Red. And they went, Alabama. I said, no, the real Big Red. Nebraska. Man, I came into the newsroom. People were like flipped out going, you can't say that here. I'm going, hey, that's my team, man. That's my team. I cut my teeth on Nebraska, man. Who do you have for your guess? Kellen Winslow?
Kellen Winslow from the Chargers, the baddest man on the planet, too.
Were you guys on the same team?
We were on the same team. Yeah, that's how I know Kellen. We played the same team with John Jefferson and Kellen and Dan Fouts. And Coryell. Yeah, we had it really going on.
What's that? Eric Coryell?
Eric Coryell.
Eric Coryell.
But Kellen is coming in. He's probably the best tight end in the history of professional football.
I loved him, man.
In NFL. So he's come in to do our keynote speaking. We have Darius Davis from TCU. He's our legend. No, he's our actual winner of the Jet Award this year.
You mentioned TCU. Our guest later on in the show is going to be Jonathan Benjamin-Alvarado, who left UNO to go to TCU. And can't wait to find out how his sensitivities are dealing with Texas. Texas politics. So we'll see about that.
All right. Well, Darius is a bad man, too. Once you see his highlights, everyone has their highlights. And the highlights are just tell all the stories from Kellen to Darius. We have Aaron Lockett from K-State is going to be one of our legend winner. And like Ryan Robinson from Miami of Ohio, this guy here, he has more yards, and he's probably number 2 or 3 in the history of college football as far as punt return yards are concerned.
You know what?
You have an all-star cast.
Jim, real quick, how's ticket sales gone?
Well, like Johnny said, it's sold out in terms of dinner tickets on the floor. 700 people have already made that commitment, but the opportunity is really in the stands where
you still got more tickets.
Folks who I think it's $29. They can get tickets online. Johnny, what's the online? Is Jet Award?
JetAward.com.
JetAward.com. And so really, Omahans, folks can come all over this Thursday at the Baxter Arena. Like Johnny said, he wanted to make it affordable for just folks to come and watch this greatness, and really had some of the baddest really athletes in this country that's going to be here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Is there any way that the people who are up in what they call the cheap seats can get pictures or autographs from the people? I mean, like, is Eric Crouch going to be there?
Eric Crouch is going to be there. Mike Roziers will be there.
3 Heisman winners.
Rick Upchurch is going to be there. The only person that we generally have there that's not going to be there is the great Greg Pruitt. He's sick right now, so he can't come in. But we have Rashawn Jackson from the Huskers.
But is there any way that people can?
They will be able to take pictures after the event on the floor, after parties. The Jet Award for event and after party.
And the new coach is going to be there too.
He's going to be one of the keynote speakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we
Is
always
there-
have red
Hey,
carpet.
just for you, Katie. I mean,
Hey, I'm just
you got to, you got to take care of it.
We have the big red carpet.
Is there a red carpet?
Is there- I
Oh, it's
love
on.
it.
It's
I
on,
love it.
Katie. It's on like buttered popcorn.
Hey, down to the last couple of minutes here, but you have seen coaches and teams come by for the last 50 years.
50 years.
What's your feeling about this new coach?
Well, I truly feel that we're
Matt
going
Rule,
in the Matt Rule.
Yeah.
And we're going in the right direction. He's because of the way the situations are, we've been able to bring in some very good players. I went down to visit practices here this last week, and I think we got some pretty good players. If we can actually mentally put it together with the coaches, because you can have great players, but you have to have great coaches too. You have to be able to call the right plays at the right time, and the players really have to have confidence in you being able to call that right play at the right time, so they can execute what their responsibilities are. But I think that I predict right now that we'll go to a bowl game for the first time in years this year.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And has he made really good use of the transfer portal? It sounds like he's picking up a lot of
We're
kids.
getting stars. We're getting stars. We're getting guys that are ready to go to the next level now. And they're into winning. And like I said, winning isn't everything.
Yeah.
But here in Nebraska, we rate it right up there with oxygen. It's
Wow.
pretty darn important.
You know, it's funny being in LA and having watch parties at my house, and all these LA people are like, man, you and your friends are really fanatics for this Nebraska thing. There's only like 2 minutes left in the game. Nebraska's leading by 2 touchdowns. Why can't you relax? I go, because they'll reach down my throat and tear my heart out.
Oh, anything can happen. We've come back in 2 minutes, you know. We never lost a game. Time just ran out. We don't lose.
This dude sounds like he's got a book somewhere. I mean, I love it. But Michael, if I could, I just want to thank Johnny for allowing the Metro Community College to be a partner, because those dollars go to support people that are economically challenged that cannot afford to go and get their certification. And so what we're seeing is 2-year associations. They're getting their 2-year association degree, or 10 months or less.
Mm-hmm.
We are now currently living in a skill-driven society. And so no skill, really no high pay and salary and opportunity. So I love that he's focusing on trades, which he graduated from that other high school they used to call Tech High School, but I'm a Benson Bunny, a Mighty Bunny. Okay,
The bunny.
the Mighty Bunnies is in the house, but it was a technical trade school, and that's really
the second largest school in the country.
Yes.
Well, we want to thank we really appreciate Metro too. I want to thank them, because Metro is one of the baddest schools on the planet right now. The
Thank you very
opportunities
much.
are there
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
what's current right now. That's the
Thank you.
bomb.
Hey, folks, if you haven't been out to the Metro campus in the last, just 12 years, 15 years,
Oh my God.
it has just exploded. You got
Which
the other one in
one?
Elkhorn.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Which one?
Which
Yeah.
one?
I was asked
South
to speak
Omaha.
to a class out there a couple of years ago. A buddy of mine had me come out and talk to his class, and I was like, where the heck did this come up from?
Yeah.
Have you seen the automotive plant out there in South Omaha?
An automotive plant?
Yes.
No, I
State of
haven't.
the arts. We've invested probably over $200 million. On an annual basis. We see about 40,000+ students. That's non-credit and credit students. The diversity is about 40% or higher. So we're really, a community college is one of the main reasons for their existence is how do we help and we meet students where they're at. One of our mission is to meet students where they're at. And so it's not a weed out process at Metro, it's a weed in. And so if folks are interested in the scholarship, they can go to mccneb.edu.
They're coming in from all over the world.
neb.edu.
They have in the automotive plant, Mike. They have careers that
Sorry,
are starting off at $150,000.
Hey, thank you. The check is in the mail. Will you
$150,000.
shut up? He said it. You make me a legend.
We said we would take over the show. That's all we got to
And
do.
I want to give a shout out
There
to
you go,
my
Katie.
grandma, who will be turning 103.
That's right.
And she
I'm-
was on the founding board, directed by the governor to start Metro.
That's right.
So
Hey,
You didn't tell me that when I met her. That's
well,
impressive.
it's a lot
very-
about her.
yeah.
Oh, my
Where do
God.
we start?
I mean, she's 100+ years old,
Yeah.
so
So
there's
we're
a
working
whole lot.
together.
Hey, I didn't find
It's
out to
connected.
this week
We're
Right.
all connected.
that what her family was in the funeral home
That's right.
business.
That's right.
Yes, my name is Katie Rain Thomas.
Yeah.
And someone had
Ah.
said to me, "Oh, you talking about Katie Thomas?" I'm going, "Who?" He
Like,
says, "Oh yeah, her
okay.
family owns a funeral home." And I go,
yeah.
"Who?"
Yeah.
And I said to her, "Are
Yes.
you?" Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I tell you, we'll end up over the years. There's been millions of dollars that we've given to students and helped
We're
them
back on
remove
Metro again.
barriers.
Unbelievable.
Millions.
We're back on Metro.
We
God
should
bless
be.
you.
Yeah.
Is the other guest here yet?
Yeah, she's
That's what I
on.
get. That's
She's
what I
on.
get paid to do, Mr. Scott. Okay, so yeah, I tell you, it's an opportunity, and when you look at the infusion of cash, this state, and what we're looking at in terms of jobs, at the end of the day, it's about H3s: high demand, high skill, and high salary.
Is there a switch?
You need to get into that field, Mike.
Is there a
Mike,
switch?
do you need a scholarship?
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to end the
Okay.
interview to make you stop. Hey, gentlemen, again, I know you guys are really busy. Also, I really appreciate that you were able to shift and come in earlier because of another
Right on.
guest. But Tim,
Good luck, man.
listen up. Tim has been helping me try to get this thing launched. And I said to him last week, so basically, you're working for Johnny and me, two grumpy old men trying to launch a project on the same week. You got a lot of skills, man. Just to deal with us, man. Because I know I drive Tim crazy. How come this isn't in the place? How come we didn't make that phone call?
That's why I referred you to Katie Ray.
He's the guy.
Katie,
to
I'm
blame.
sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Let me publicly,
She's dealing with this
Yeah.
crazy New Yorker, man. Crazy
Hey,
New
I
Yorker.
do my job well, though. I do my
Hey
job
guys,
well.
again, thanks a
All
lot
right,
for
buddy.
coming, buddy.
All
Good
right.
luck. Oh, and by the way,
Good luck.
Johnny came in early and handed me my tickets.
Oh,
is Thursday.
that special?
Yes, and tickets plural.
You
Tim
on
Wagman.
time.
Tim Wagman. You got your tickets, man.
Every day's game day.
Tim Wagman's my business
every
man.
other day.
All right, gentlemen, thanks a lot.
All right.
Hey, when we come back, is our boxer here?
Fine.
Online.
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Let's take a break. Mickey Mouse ears, is because I'm going to be talking to a remote guest. Before I get to that, though, and I wish I had seen this story when Johnny was here. Former Nebraska lineman Cole Pensick died in a crash Saturday morning. According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office, it happened around 6:42 at 141st and Q. They say he ran a stop sign, went off the road, and crashed in between some trees. He died at the scene. He was not wearing a seatbelt. For those of you who remember the name Cole Pensick, he was a 32-year-old who began his career with the Huskers in 2009. So, yeah.
And
You may have gone to school with him?
I did. I went to UNL.
Okay.
And he's 32.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's right.
I might be around that age, but yeah.
That's right. Make me laugh as I'm doing an obit. Okay, thank you very much.
But
yes.
that's sad.
Hey, our next guest, she's ready, up and running. Brittany Parker. She's no slouch. Oh, there she goes. I want you to know I was so forward looking to having you here in the studio with me because I really wanted to meet you face to face and of course, take glam pictures with you, you know. Here's some video of you working out in the ring here, and you're a mom and you're a winner. You are ranked second nationally for Team USA. And tell us a little bit more about yourself. How do you make it all work? Why did you decide you want to trade punches with somebody?
Yeah, that's old footage. I was on my way to nationals. I actually won nationals, so I was ranked number 1 for a few years as well, before I went on and went pro. But why I wanted to box, I think it was a positive outlet at first. Terrence Crawford just opened a gym in my neighborhood.
That's where I was going to go. You're with B&B.
Yep. And so I was there when it first opened, and I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with the sport and got better and start loving it more and more. And then I kind of was pushing them like, I want to compete. Teach me. And they're like, you don't want to compete. You don't want to do this. And I was like, I do. So.
But you probably had a grandma out there going, now why you want to let them mess up your pretty face?
Exactly. And they would say it too because they would laugh at me. I would come in with my little sparkling hats and my matching workout attire, and they're like, you don't want to do this for real. I'm like, yes, I do.
You sure you don't want to be a ring girl? You don't.
No.
Okay.
I want to be both.
Hey, I had the pleasure many years ago of doing a one-on-one interview on a show like this with Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
His daughter is one of your idols.
Yeah, I wouldn't say idol, but definitely I look up to her for sure.
You look up to her, yeah.
Yes. I look up to her for sure. I think I still look up to her, for inspiration. I feel like she is the only one that commercialized the sport, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to really benefit and profit from it. I think too many women want to have that fight where they want to be just as good as the men. I don't. I know God gave us other other talents and attributes. I just want to be the best, And I think she's the one that laid that blueprint down with how to be a fighter and win and be tough, and also be in touch with your feminine side as well. So that's definitely the pathway that I'm following.
Katie's over here. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Church lady over here. Wait, no, you can't have that name. Someone else already has that name, church lady. We'll explain that later another time. But you also use the word tough. But being a parent these days is also tough. Tell me about the home.
Shoot, being a single mom, that's work,
How many kids are we talking about? 1, 2?
I have one.
Okay.
Right now. So my son, that was a part of the reason why I was frustrated. Being young Black woman trying to raise a kid on her own in America is tough, and so I had all the will and drive to make my life better, and it just seems like everything I was trying wasn't working. So that just left me frustrated and felt defeated. So boxing came into my life when I needed something, some hope. And boxing gave me that hope. They Boxing is a sport that doesn't sugarcoat anything. Either you got it or you don't.
Mhm.
And they made me look at myself and realize that I had some growing to do. And I needed to grow if I wasn't going to compete on the elite level. So it really gave me that drive, that motivation. No one's going to feel sorry for you. It's not a woe is me attitude. Who cares that you're a single mom? There's a million of other single parents out there. What's different about you? And those are things that my coaches would say to me. And looking back, in retrospect, looking back, man, I they really cared and they really brought out the best in me. So I brought my son to the gym every single day. The gym became my family. It became something that we do every single day. I picked him up from school after I got off of work, and we went to the gym to train.
How old is he?
He's 12 now.
12. All right. You think
Yeah.
he has boxing in his future? Would you let him go that route?
No,
I,
he's a
I
basketball player. Um, I feel like I started on this journey, so I have to finish it. Um, but yeah, he's more like he did wrestling for a while, but he got so tall that we transitioned to basketball. He's
yeah, but
super
at
tall.
tall, he's got that reach though, right? Come on.
I know, but mm-mm.
You don't want your baby hurt.
I don't. I really don't.
Hey, give him a shout out while you're here. What's his name?
Devon Griffin Jr., DJ. I love you.
All right, terrific. You were talking about Ms. Ali. She has
Mhm.
retired from the sport.
Right.
You have accomplished a lot in what, 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
when is the point that you've said, I've done it all?
I
I've,
ain't made no money yet. I, co- I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a lot of accolades out there, but I haven't profited from them. So if I see the check, then I'll go ahead and walk away from it.
well,
There's not a certain. I know that boxing is dangerous. I'm getting older, so I really have about a 4 or 5 year time span left to be in the sport. So I'm trying to run up the bag, really.
because I don't want you to be like George Foreman going in at 50 and stuff like that.
No, no, no. I have a hard cap at 35. I really do.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hey, when is your next fight coming up? You have something that you're training for?
No, I'm not. I'm actually taking a break. I dove in head first for turning pro and realized that there's a lot more politics in the business. So I'm taking my time and focusing on my family right now. But I plan on returning back to the ring next year. So right now, just fundraising, getting my money up, getting sponsorships and things like that, and I'll be ready to fight next year.
Is there any way people can reach you if they're interested in helping you out? Got an
Yeah,
email?
definitely. They can hit me up in my email. It's Brittany, Brittany Parker, Parker 687 at gmail.com.
All
They
right,
could just email me. Social media is Bree Parker Boxing um, on Facebook and Instagram.
terrific. You know what? You were talking about the politics of boxing, and
Hmm.
I've really been following them more than ever because of Terrence
Yeah.
and about him dealing with different promoters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It Do you have any kind of working relationship with Terrence where he or his circle of people who can say, this is what you got to do, Brittany?
Yeah, definitely. Again, being the only female, at the gym, they've kind of laid it out for me. It's not something because they're still in the sport. You have to kind of just learn, and ask questions as they go. But yeah, definitely. I think it's just about me having patience, which I didn't have a lot of, if I'm honest, and waiting for, my turn. And so right now I'm just utilizing the time to get better, get wiser, get smarter, get faster, and wait for my turn. And it's gonna come. So That's the thing when they're dealing with politics. They not only have Terrence Crawford, they also have a whole lineup. Steven Nelson. They have Keyshawn Davis and his brother. So they have a lot of different athletes that's under B&B Promotions as well. And so I want to just I always was like, well, I'm the little girl though, but it's still timing and things like that. And so now I'm learning the business and how things work. I'd rather have the on be on the best pathway to be successful than try to rush it and then have one or two fights and my career is over. So just being patient and learning that process.
It makes sense. Hey, Brittany, I really appreciate you getting up and joining us here this morning for our inaugural show.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be famous.
Thank you.
Shout out your wellness business too.
Oh, you have a
Shout
wellness
that out.
business?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. I have a wellness business. I've learned how to acquire health and wellness by myself, and so I created tools and resources for other Black women to get healthy. Brittany'sBalance.com. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, young lady. Good luck to you and duck.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. All right. I hear music playing here. Hey, is Jonathan Benjamin-Alvarado queued up yet? He's here? Oh, terrific, terrific. Let's just go for him right now then. Hey, sir.
How you doing?
Man, you know what? I appreciate your patience this weekend, trying to get an inaugural show going. We've got all these little surprises and twists and turns, but we're on the air, and it's so good to see you here with us, man.
So good to be seen, too.
Oh, it's better to be obscene, but seen's good, too. Okay. You
Some things don't change. Some things don't change.
As I told you, folks, this guy used to be on my morning radio show, and I love him, man. And as I said to you, when I talked to you this week, I said, Jonathan, just to let you know, we're going to be talking about Tennessee. And what did you tell me?
Bring it.
No, well, you said you were at a conference.
I was at a conference talking about Tennessee, yeah.
What was the feel of that conference?
Well, so I'm a member of the Western Political Science Association and been a board member and really actively involved in a lot of things in there, and especially the last few years on issues related to race, ethnicity, and politics. And so, boy, weren't we handed a gift in what happened in Tennessee last week. And so, we had a lot to talk about, a lot to chop it up about with some, really, really well noted and highly regarded academics who do this stuff every single day. And so I really went there with a sense of what can I learn, what insights can I gain from what it is that we're experiencing. And, it's very frustrating to have to kind of march through stuff like this, but, to share information and insights with this group of folks, it was good for me. It lets me know that there are folks that are doing some serious thinking about it, but also kind of gave me a perspective that I didn't have before I went. And so, I got some ideas that maybe you might want to talk about a little bit here.
Go ahead, share them.
Well, so first and foremost, boy, what a sorry commentary on the state legislature in Tennessee to have done this. I think that they're both Justins, but Senator Johnson in particular made it very clear that, he was told in no uncertain terms that he was an uppity ant. And, take that for what it's worth. It's unfortunate that, nearly 60 years after the civil rights movement, that we're still having these types of conversations. But I think two things that were abundantly clear coming out of all of that, Michael, was that first and foremost, there is a sense of the legislature, the white majority, a super majority in the state of Tennessee, that this is how they're going to conduct their business. And if it means that they have to silence and really kind of, marginalize Black voices, that's what they're going to do, and they don't care.
Well,
there's no penalty for them immediately to be paid. Now, there's other things that are going to occur down the road that they maybe didn't take into full consideration just yet. But I got to tell you that it is sobering to think that at the end of the day that we haven't made that much damn progress.
The optics in this thing were so damning. First of all, you go after the two young. I think they're like 26 and 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them have activist roots. And it's basically, you shut up. We don't want to hear what you have to say, and we're going to put you in our place. That young guy with the afro, Justin Johnson, and
Yeah.
the tiki, and when he was talking about Republican lawmakers damning him about his dress and how he appeared on the floor, and I could not help but think about our own in Nebraska, Senator Ernie Chambers, who used to come for 40 years in a t-shirt, a muscle shirt. And they told him, you need to have a shirt and tie when you're on the floor. So he brought out a bag, a shirt and tie, and put it on his podium and said, okay, you happy? Could you imagine them trying to pull something like this with Ernie Chambers?
Well, see, but I think that what's important for us to think about here is the reality of what's happened is that those two gentlemen are not going anywhere. They will come back. They will be back. They will be reappointed. They will be reelected. And I think what that is really more than anything else, a diversion and a distraction. The distraction is that what was actually happening that day was children voicing and articulating their own particular sensitivity to the horror that occurred at that mostly white Christian school. Okay, let's not lose sight of that. First and foremost, that the vast majority of the people that were there protesting in the Capitol that day were children and their parents saying, stop this madness. And those two individuals, because they sided with, I think is the most humane representation of who we are, were silenced because they were Black. And I can imagine, and I really kind of, I'm a little dumbfounded at the silence of other white folks, males in particular, and perhaps some of those legislators. Do they not have children? Do they not have grandchildren? Do they not have relatives that could have potentially have been impacted by what occurred there that day? I'm in Texas. I'm at Texas Christian University. One of our alums was the teacher that was killed there. So it struck home for us here in Fort Worth, Texas, of all places. And I heard it very eloquently put by one of our board of trustees the day after. He said, what is it that we can do to begin to avoid this evil? And I think we know what that recipe is, but nobody wants to have that conversation. And I think at the end of the day, juxtapose that on top of the fact that it was two Black individuals, two very articulate activists from the community who represent the interest of folks who every day are being subjected to this type of violence, to help us stop it. And so let's not lose sight of why it was that they were mouthing their protest against the rest of the state legislature. And that's sad. It's very sad, Michael.
We should let people know that the state of Tennessee does not mandate a permit or a license to purchase or own a gun. Owners are not required to register firearms, concealed weapons. Well, that's a different matter right now. The state of Tennessee mandates a background check for all residents who purchase a gun from a licensed dealer. It's a basic background check. And that's been the problem with a lot of these things. The laws that are there already are not being
and so the question that I want to ask to folks who want to continue to support and adhere to that particular kind of strain of legislation is, so tell me then, it's never going to be a matter of if, it's only a matter of when and where the next incident is going to occur. And until such time as it touches you directly, are you going to tell me that you really don't care about people? That your rights supersede the well-being of the communities in which we live and them as elected officials serve? Is that what you're telling me? Because if such is the case, then I think all hope is lost. And until such time as it directly impacts these people, but how many more people have to die? How many more people have to be maimed? How many more people have to be traumatized in the manner that those communities have been traumatized? Because unfortunately what happens is they get stunned into silence and then nobody can speak for them. And it's, and I'm so happy to see that the parents of the kids at Parkland, and I'm so happy to see that the other, folks have taken up the mantle of activism in this particular community. And it was only when Black people stood up that they decided to shut the damn thing down. So it's the most blatant racist kind of incident that I have seen by elected officials. They're not even hiding behind the hyperbole anymore. They're not even doing dog whistles. They just came out and said, brother, you're just going to stand down. and you're gone.
What's that about? Was it that Lewis said about good protests? We need to have
Good trouble, man. They were involved in good trouble,
good trouble.
and keep bringing it. Keep bringing it. You know, and so if it's not a matter of who, if it's a matter of who, then it's got to be us.
Mhm.
And I think, you know, and so I appreciate their passion, their tenacity, their willingness to assume the mantle of leadership and responsibility in their community, knowing full well that the state legislature previously gerrymandered, you know, Nashville in 3 districts to minimize the Black voice. And yet in these local state, you know, districts that are created there, there's no way that they can avoid, that they can silence it. They cannot avoid having this conversation. It is not going to go anywhere. And it's going to be interesting for me to see how this plays out over the course of the next 6-8 months, because there's going to be some really, you know, maybe come to Buddha moments for these legislators in the next few months if they don't begin to kind of get their act together and begin responding to what the community is demanding.
Just to let people know, a Nashville area county council may return to the State House, one of those 2 Democratic Tennessee lawmakers who were expelled last week over the gun control protest. They're meeting today to fill his vacant seat, and they're going to turn around and go, we'll put him back in the vacant seat. So it should be interesting to see how this goes down.
Well, I'm sure that they will not accept him, and so this is the kind of thing that will go to state court, federal court. You know, it could go all the way to the Supreme Court. I think we're at one of those moments in American history where we have to think about, you know, how disconnected from reality these supermajority legislatures are. I mean, they're passing laws nilly-willy. It's happening here in Texas. It's happening there in Nebraska. Just a raft of legislation that's being advanced with no basis other than to just, you know, that we got you, that we're in control, that we're going to dictate to you the terms of how you're going to live in the society. Unfortunate, really unfortunate, Michael.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm so glad to have you for my first show, man, because you're my voice. I love you. And as I said to you this weekend, I was definitely going to be looking to you more and more. Okay.
Well, listen, I appreciate the opportunity to share this time with you. I'm really happy that you've launched this new venture. I know that you know, let's amplify the voices that we have. This is certainly a way of doing it, and I look forward to continuing to work with you into the future, my friend.
All right, Jonathan Benjamin-Alvarado, who's now in Fort Worth. That's another question. How are you dealing in Texas, man?
Hey, well, let me tell you. So I'm at Texas Christian University. I'm the senior advisor to the Chancellor and the Chief Inclusion Officer here. I have more degrees of freedom and latitude than I ever did in the state of Nebraska. I love what I'm doing here. I've got the full support of the administration and the Board of Trustees. And so it's kind of like, you know, I dreamed it, I wished it, and it's happening. And so we're making change. Like I tell people every day that, you know, I'd love to see my institution become a model and an aspirant for others in the country. This is how you do it. You know, just like the song says, this is how we do it. So
this is how we do it. Do I have to pay royalties for that? Okay.
No, we don't. No.
All right,
well, if you're singing it, they're probably going to make you pay just because you sang it. So
take care. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Hey, that was Jonathan Benjamin-Alvarado. That hour went by really quickly. I hope you're going to do that again with us. Okay. Katie?
Yeah.
Cam, thank you for making this happen, man.
Heck yeah.
I tell you, last night, man, I was going, this ain't going to happen. 2:44 this morning, someone's car alarm went off. I went, this definitely ain't going to happen. And then the rain came and I went, oh, is this an omen, Lord? Please, is this an omen? Hey, did we get any people who had any comments? Did we get any comments? You want to run a couple by me here?
So on Facebook, you're getting nice look, Michael. You got a lot of people that are tuning in and sending loves and likes over there. And then someone also said, Katie is great. I want to hear.
Is your dad on there?
Of course, you had to get that one in, Katie.
No, this is from Carol McLennan or
McClellan.
McClellan.
Oh, good.
Katie's great. I want to hear her interview you, Michael.
Carol McClellan used to work with me at Channel 7. Her name was Carol Kloss back then.
It has the Kloss on there.
Oh, does? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you guys could do that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Are
Give him
you
a
seeing
shout-out.
any comments, Cam?
Those are the ones I've seen. I got this other one from Joyce Young saying, "Looking good, thumbs up, Michael."
Now, Joyce Young. Oh, Joyce, I'm so glad you listened. Joyce, I moved here in 82. 84, someone introduced me to her, said, "Oh, you two be kind of cute together." We went on a date, and we decided we'd be better off as friends.
Hey, sometimes
And
it works like that.
she has been like a big sister to me.
Yeah.
She took me under her wing, and she used to work for Cleaver Construction, and then she worked for Ashley Ford. And she'd call me up like on a Friday afternoon and go, "What you doing tonight?" I'm going, "I don't know, just hanging out." She goes, "You need to come up into North Omaha. People need to see you."
Hey, she was right. She was right.
One of my best stories. She and I were I can still run a couple more minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're at the Stage 2, which was a great bar, nightclub in North Omaha. And what was that? 24th of
It's off of
it's on 24th or 30th.
No,
It's on
30th in Bedford. It was
30th
off
in
of
Bedford.
30th in Bedford, yeah.
And she brings me up to the bar, and there's a bunch of people there, and I'm talking, blah, blah, blah. And some guy looks at me and goes, it's a brother too. He goes, "Man, you don't sound anything like how you sound on TV." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted me to be on TV going, yeah, the po-po busted a cap in the dude's butt." And he goes, "Yeah."
I do. He's like, yeah.
That's how you want me to talk on TV.
So give us your TV voice. What's your TV voice?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Scott, and here's what's happening tonight. Have you ever seen the movie Anchorman?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that movie is.
You ever do those? You do those warm-ups?
Tim was trying to get you.
Oh, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. You doing that?
I did that in the bathroom when you guys were.
Oh my gosh.
999 nuns in an Indianola nunnery. Yes, I was running through them, boy. And if you
great.
hadn't been in the car, I'd have been doing them today, okay? I had to pick her up. I'm going, man, I'm not going to get my vocal workout in. And I was just hoping no one walked in the bathroom while I was doing it.
Were you embarrassed?
There's a guy in there talking to his stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Hey, if I mention in these shows Church Lady, who you've met now, Church Lady's the lady that my significant other.
Oh, that's Church Lady.
And when I did you didn't know that's who this, because when we did the
was.
radio show, we always referred to her as the Church Lady because she picked me up in church.
Oh.
At that point, where everybody turns around and shakes hands with everybody.
She's like,
she was in front of me. She turned around and she shook my hand. She goes, "So do you know where you know me from now?" And I said, "What?" I said, "What?" She goes, "I used to go to the Ozone." I went, "Oh, okay. And handed me her business card. I'm going, okay, fine. And like a couple weeks later, it's Valentine's Day. And my crew for the morning show are busting my chops going, "So you don't have any plans for Valentine's Day?" I said, "No, not really."
Like, well, I got this card here.
All of a sudden, Dalamar, who was our engineer, he goes, "We have a call here for you. She doesn't want to go on the air, but she said she's the Church Lady. And if you called the number she gave you, you'd have a date."
Was I there that day?
No, I don't. You may have been there.
Now Church Lady's
Church
Lady's ringing a bell now.
And ever since then, she's been known as the Church Lady. And there's some dirty jokes that go behind that.
No,
but I can't do those. I can't do dirty jokes on the air, can you?
I mean, it is the internet, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
Now, you know what?
Within reason.
I'm going to wait till people get to know me better.
Let's warm them up a little bit first.
He just went on there and just did nothing but dirty jokes. Why do people watch him?
Oh, no.
Hey, Cam, you didn't tell me you were going to be on camera.
I'm here, man.
Oh, that's so cool.
You invited me in.
Oh,
I'll leave.
Hey, folks, this is Cam. This is Cam Broham.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Brother, Broham. I got to get that clip from that movie.
I'll look for it.
I'll look for it. Yeah. Hey, thank you, crew. I really appreciate making this happen. I hope that you will join us next Monday morning at 9:00. I tell you, the plan is here. If this goes really well, we're going to just blow this thing up. Oh my God. Hey, and I have to thank Omaha Magazine.
Yes.
I wrote some notes down. I got lost with Johnny Rodgers. Omaha Magazine.
Yep.
Thanks for sponsoring it. They sent out last week 380,000 emails to their subscribers saying this is the show to watch. So all of you We're invited by Omaha Magazine. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And I hope it's something that you like.
Yeah.
Gil Cohen is with Omaha Magazine. And to tell you how things work, again, I got time to talk, so let's just talk. Last year about this time, Ben Gray, we all know who Ben Gray, he city councilman, former city councilman now, and he and I used to work at KETV together. He used to do a show called Kaleidoscope. Man, Kaleidoscope was like 40 years now. And
Wow.
he had all the newsmakers on there. It was a talk show, and he would take people apart, okay? Anyway, he called me up and said, hey, these people want to start a thing called Nebraska Sunrise News, online news service. And they want you. I said, really? I said, yeah. And they want you to do a podcast. I was going, man, I've had people for years telling me, Michael, you should be doing a podcast. I get there. They got the studio built already. They got another guy doing some shows on there already. And they said, we want you to come on here and do that. They offered me some money. I said, okay. When I came in to agree, they said, you know what? We can't do that money. We're going to give you $15,000 more. I was like, this is the price is right. So I was going, yeah, let's do this. And 2 weeks into the job, the guy who hired me leaves. A week later, his substitute, I give her all the paperwork on how this show should run and how they can do some other things around here. She tells me, oh, I loved it. It was great, but I got to let you go. I go, what? She goes, we don't have money to pay you. I said, it's going to be me alone? She goes, no, it's not you alone. It's everybody. The investors fell through.
Oh.
So I'm sitting around for 2 months going, gosh, darn, they got me all excited about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I see Gil Cohen, who's the marketing guy for Omaha Magazine, sitting outside of the Havana Cigar Bar. And we walked by. I said, hey, Gil, how's it going? I walked down about half a block and I said to the church lady, I'll be right back, okay? And I went and said, Gil, give me a card, man. I got to throw something by you. And Tim Clark, who was here earlier, he and I met him in Havana Garage, and I made a pitch. And I said, this is what I'd like to do, and I'd like Omaha Magazine to sponsor it. All you kids out there, again, all you got to do is ask sometimes.
Right.
All they can do is say no.
Right.
And I said to him, I really want to talk to you. I made this great pitch. And he said to me, you know what? You're going on vacation. When you come back, we'll write up something and throw it past the Todd Lemke, who's the publisher for this magazine.
Omaha Publications. Right?
Omaha Publications.
Yeah.
They got like, how many magazines? They're like 10 different magazines they got out or something like that.
There's a few. I don't know the exact number.
And I'm on vacation. I'm in a meeting, and I get a text from Gil. He goes, I couldn't wait for you to get back. I already pitched the idea to him. He wants to talk to you as soon as you get back. And things just started rolling, man. It started rolling. And, you know, Lemke's like me. It's like, we're kind of novices. We're older guys. It's like, I press this button here. So I can't believe we made it to today.
Right.
I checked the drain a few weeks ago in the tub, and there was all this hair down there. I'm going, I'm going to look like Michael Jordan by the time I get out of here bald. By the time I get this show on the air.
Me and Cam, we
got you.
We're doing our thing. We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just show up and talk. We do the rest of it.
Huh?
You just show up and talk. We'll do the rest of it.
Yeah.
Just show up and talk.
I don't think that's possible, Cam.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. No.
Oh, one final church lady story. So yesterday, church lady, I'm leaving her. And I said, all right, take care. And she goes, well, good luck tomorrow. I'll be watching. I said, oh, you going to like have a few friends over for like a viewing party? She goes, what? I said, you can make them some breakfast, make it a regular thing. She goes, no, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, whatever you say, hon. Hey,
You are funny.
I got to get out of here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, and to all my friends around the world, thank you for being part of this today. And I hope to see you all next Monday. And until then, take care of one another.